Good evening. This is part 2 of our canning of the ranch style beans. So I'm going to start, and I'm going to take my large ones first. Got my funnel, got this. Oh yeah, this is my first time to do it on my own. I've watched several other people do this, but I have never tried this on my own. So this is a new experience for me. And I only have 2 bags of beans in this, which I'm using. The last time I got 2 quarts and a pint, so I'm hoping to get that much again. And I like to cook my beans, and so far I haven't had any issues with it. So I'm gonna put this a little closer. I don't like to make big messes unless I have to. But I'm making a pretty good mess with this, but I'll clean it up. And I'm bringing it up to the neck, maybe just a hair over. Let me pull this out. Yeah, I'll probably have to pour a little out of this. You only want it up to this rim. I'm still fairly new to canning, but I'm learning quickly. So I've got my first quart done. I'm just going to rinse it off. I use a different towel to clean off the top, put the rim on. And I'm following the advice of several other ladies that have done this before, and I'm using a vinegar to make sure that the rim is totally cleaned off. Let me do it see if I can do this left-handed, even though I'm not a lefty. And then I'm going to go along this too to make sure that area along here is clean. And then these are already cleaned and washed. New lids. Oh, got the wrong one. So see, I'm not perfect. And you just put it on finger tight. Then I'm setting these over here. We'll go on to our next jar. And I'm only going to do 2 of these, and then I'm going to turn this film off because I don't want to bore anybody with canning beans, because some of you have been doing this for years, I'm sure. Might have learned from your grandparents. I had parents who never did this. I saw my first set of canning with my best friend's grandmother. She was a very old-fashioned lady down in Midwestern Texas, and the first time I ever saw anybody canning was her. And then I asked one of my grandmothers about it, and she's like, "Oh yeah, I can during the I can during the summer." So when I was there with her one of the next times, she showed me how she did it. I was kind of interested, kind of not. Being a kid, you know, sometimes kids are interested, sometimes they're not. And I was not really that interested. It seemed like a lot of work to me. So I never really paid attention. So, that's a child for you. And, but now I'm wishing I'd have paid a little more attention to my grandmother, because I had to do a lot of work to figure out one of her recipes. It was one of my favorites, and I just had to do a lot of trial and error. And I finally figured it out. It was a recipe for cucumbers and onions, and she said, "Oh, everybody does this." Well, I didn't. My mom didn't. And so I never really learned from her. I mean, I think at one time I asked for the recipe and she gave it to me probably, but it's like I was a kid. What can I say? Kids don't always listen to their elders. Kids don't always remember what their elders say. And I was one of those kids who didn't remember what their elders saw. And I found out that for us, whenever we make refried beans, I use these for our refried beans mainly. We use a quart and a pint. So I'm trying to make a couple of pints to go along with what we already, I've got one quart already canned that we haven't used at this time. And so I kind of wanted to get another quart, another few quarts, so that we can have enough. I have a family, like I said before, 4 kids. Sometimes my son shows up, sometimes he does not. And I mean, he's out on his own now, and sometimes he'll drop in for dinner with us. My eldest daughter is fixing to go off to college. So, and it's like at first whenever I started doing this, she's like, but Mom, I like the cans. We always bought the brand name ranch style beans that you see in the store. We'd always bought that. That's what my family always bought. And I remember several years ago, I was cooking up some beans and thought, I think I can do this. And so I decided that instead of just making, pork and or ham and beans, I'd make ranch style beans, make it more like ranch style beans. And it really turned out great. Everybody loved it. Didn't think of it. Didn't write the recipe down, smart me, or anything. And I'm sorry I lied. You're going to get to go through all of this and hear me talk. Didn't write it down or anything. So whenever I came back to this, and Christine had said that, I said, hey, Christina, you remember those beans I made a few years ago? The ham and beans that we ate the last time? She's like, yeah. I said, those weren't a can. She's like, they weren't? I said, no, I made those. And she's like, you did? I'm like, yes, ma'am. She's like, oh, I thought those were from a can. I'm like, no, remember? Don't you remember helping me to clean up the beans? And she goes, oh yeah, we did, didn't we? I said, yeah. And she's like, I just didn't remember. I said, yeah, I know. So I'm gonna try again. Well, she's like, okay, but I don't know that I'll taste them. I'm like, whatever. Typical teenager. So I didn't worry too much about it. And so I got them done this last time. I guess it's been about 2 months now. Got them done. I need another rim. Sorry, you'll just have to wait for me for a moment here. No, you're fine. I just need to rinse these off because I've got my younger daughter at the camera who's helping me. And she's really itching to talk, but I haven't let her talk very much.
Hey.
She's got a friend who does a YouTube channel, and she's been begging me to let her do one, and I'm like, you're still just a little young yet. So I haven't let her do a channel yet.
Yeah, but I at least have to help you with the videoing behind
the scenes, yes.
Like,
stay over there.
good. video that we did?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, I helped her do a tent video also.
I might want to put this on here.
Like, if any of you families want to go camping in a free tent,
Not a free tent. We paid for that tent, girl.
No, 3 tents.
Oh, what it is it's a 20-person tent.
Yeah.
And she helped me to make a video that I still have not done anything with. So anyway, with her having mentioned that, I may have to get out the video and show everybody. So, but not at this moment. This moment, I'm doing this. But anyway, this will be my last jar, and I'll let the kids eat the last of this because there's not enough to can, and I'm sure they'll enjoy that. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and this is part 2. I'm fixing to put all of these in. Go ahead and take a stand back, and I'll go ahead and put them in. Because, like I said, some of my friends probably have never canned before. And so I'm placing them. This is, preheated, pretty warm. I think I'm going to add a quart of water to this because it's actually gone down.
Yeah,
Pull that off a little.
it's kind of hard to see it because it's pretty dark. Because you guys can see the shadow of it.
Alright. I'd already added 3 quarts in here, but I think cooling that down is probably a good idea. And then I'll add these in. And I will add a few more jars just to fill this up so that I don't have any of these trying to break or rock loose and stuff when it gets going. This is just something I do. I don't know that you're supposed to, but I like to make sure my area is filled. I'm gonna set that over there for the moment. See if I can work these in better.
Yeah, she's not gonna keep that jar right where it is.
I'm gonna put this here. Then I'm gonna put this on down here. And I think that's probably pretty good. I may have to take some of that water out though. Because they say the last I knew, you're not supposed to have this real high in here. It's only supposed to be high enough to create steam. So, and I've got it a little high. It'll do more than create steam. It'll probably boil over. I'll just put some of this in here.
Just to get some weight in.
Just to get some of it out of the way. And I'll fill this on up. I have this a little full, so give me just a moment here.
And some of you guys that aren't watching it right now, I can understand because right now I'm kind of tired, because of what the time is,
I like to can of an evening so it doesn't heat up our trailer house. And so when I do my canning is generally around midnight because it starts cool. I mean, if I could get started earlier in the day I would, but I like to let my husband have his time on the TV and everything, so, and we kind of use it as a family time, so I just kind of go along, and that's a lot better because you don't want it up to the top like you do with a water bath. And so now I've got to line this up over here, and it's going to line up real good. Now I'm going to go ahead and give it a little more heat. Sorry. And this is all we are going to do for now. So y'all have a great night.